his way in. Spins on Gallinari, gives it up. Oh, he was right there.
Well, but that's when you know that the game is in your head.
2.5 to go. Long three on its way. And Trae Young. And Atlanta, your Hawks are headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 6 years.
And the Miami Heat, for the second time in the last 3 years, going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They close out this series in 6 games, winning on Philly's home floor, 99-90.
Tobias Harris over me?
For far too long, the city of Philadelphia has endured disappointment after disappointment. With so many expectations and rebuilds, it's really hard to be a Sixers fan knowing that every year it's the same thing. High expectations with incredible starts, only for them to blow it once the postseason starts. But what if I tell you that this year, things may play out differently, to the point where the Sixers could even end up as the 2023 NBA champions? Don't believe me? Well, why not stick around for the rest of the video and I'll show you why the Sixers may actually win it all this upcoming season. With the Ben Simmons drama finally out the window, the Sixers can now enter this season with cooler heads, knowing that every player on their roster is 100% dedicated to give it their all this season. Sticking with the roster, this may be the Sixers' deepest team they ever had in the Joel Embiid era. With guys like James Harden, PJ Tucker, and Tyrese Maxey to name a few, the Sixers have created a team that will not only give it their all in the offensive end, but also on the defensive end. With everything the Sixers experienced last season, there's no question that Sixers president of basketball operations, Daryl Morey, had to act quickly to make some moves to elevate this team. With Harden turning 33 and Embiid 28, the time for this team to win is now. There's no more time for trust the process or any type of development. This team needs to win now. Otherwise, this team will end up being another what if story. And I know many of you guys watching this video are probably thinking, man, there's no way the Sixers can take it all this year. We saw them struggle in the playoffs last year, barely beating Toronto and getting clapped by Miami. What makes this year any different? Well, for starters, Harden was laboring with a hamstring injury since his arrival to Philly. Embiid was dealing with an orbital fracture that limited him to play only 4 games against Miami, and if I can speak the truth for a bit, if Embiid never received that injury against the Raptors, there's no doubt in my mind that things could have been different for the Sixers against Miami. So with both Harden and Embiid both suffering with injuries, you would expect that the other role players and bench would step up and take the load off their 2 stars, right? Well, no. The quite opposite happened. The Sixers bench absolutely fumbled the bag and lost against Miami in 6, which for many didn't seem like much of a surprise considering that the Sixers had the 3rd worst bench in the NBA. You mix that without guys like James Harden and Joel Embiid and you're looking at a lottery team at best. So yeah, putting them against Miami it was a no-brainer they were going to lose. So with the team looking trash, Daryl Morey went fast to work. On draft night, he was able to get former Memphis Grizzlies guard DeAnthony Melton in exchange for the 23rd pick in the draft and Danny Green, who was pretty much expected to miss the whole 2023 season with an ACL tear, so moving him wasn't that big of an issue. Then Morris also picked up James Harden's former teammates PJ Tucker and Daniel House on 2-year deals. These 2 free agent pickups were made possible due to Harden taking a pay cut this summer. So if you thought James Harden was only here to play and get paid, you're wrong. Just with these acquisitions alone, the Sixers have put themselves in a better situation than they were last year. With a steady balance of both defense and offense, this team looks to be the best well-rounded team in the Eastern Conference. The reason why this team is special is because there is enough depth to keep guys like Embiid and Harden well rested, which is very crucial for the Sixers to do if they want to win it all this season. With Harden and Embiid leading the way, there's no doubt in my mind that the Sixers can accomplish big things this season. With their pick and roll generating an impressive 1.132 points per chance and scoring 1.22 points when Embiid shoots the ball, these numbers alone speak volume of what the Sixers duo can do. And what makes their pick and roll game even more deadly is the space both these guys can create for their shooters. And when you have guys like Melton and Tucker who shot higher than 38% from 3-point range last year, the Sixers have readied themselves in their offensive game. It kind of Rockets 2.0 if you would say. The only difference with Embiid not being Capella. And if you thought Melton and Tucker's shooting was good, just wait until you see their defense because these guys can guard the best players on any other team. Specifically Tucker, who although is 37 and is approaching his final years in the league, is a player that the Sixers really needed last year, especially when it came to guarding Jimmy Butler or Pascal Siakam. PJ can honestly do all the dirty work, from defending the opposing team's best player to scoring open shots when his team needs it most. things that guys like Harris or Niang couldn't do. And man, I haven't even mentioned Tyrese Maxey, a guy who just last year in the playoffs averaged 20 plus points per game on 49, 38, and 94 shooting splits in 12 games. This year, the Sixers expect Maxey to take a leap and be that third option for the team. With his versatile burst and his ability to open up space to take shots, Maxey gives Philly another potential threat in their lineup. A championship is coming to the city of brotherly love, and if you want to look more in depth, the only teams that seem capable to stop them are the Celtics, Bucks, Clippers, and the defending champs Golden State Warriors. And other than the Bucks, the Sixers have an advantage over all of them. When none of these teams able to guard Embiid one-on-one, they'll be forced to double him, which means more open space and looks for the Sixers shooters. Now, the only team that poses a threat for Philly is the Bucks. And although Giannis is a freak of nature when it comes to basketball, the Sixers have the best defender capable of stopping him, so yeah. If Embiid's able to make Giannis struggle, I really don't see anybody else beating them. But again, this all depends on the Sixers, especially Harden and Embiid. If these guys find a way to work well with each other and stay healthy, there's no doubt in my mind that we'll be seeing the Larry O'Brien trophy heading back to the city of Philadelphia. Well guys, that's my video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, please be sure to drop a like down below. And also if you guys have any comments, don't forget to drop them as well down below. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.